Well, good night once again. We're into the second match for tonight here at the Brighton Technical Centre. The Vincy Soccer Premier League continues. Avenues United, they are taking on Bequia United in a bottom of the table clash. Avenues United, they are cemented at the bottom on 3 points. And Bequia United on 10 points. And Charlo, good night once again. We have that statistic, unbelievable, but it's true that Avenues United, they're yet to win a game for the season.
Well, we have seen it. They have definitely not been a team that really shown any purpose, I should say. And so it's not surprising that they're languishing at the bottom of the table.
So we see both teams now in the middle, and just to go through the starting lineups. Avenues United in goal, we have Shaquille Chandler. The rest of the squad is Neil James, who's wearing the captain armband tonight. Khalik Wiley, Ronald Thomas, Xavier Jack, Cadell Hector, Caprani Davis, Khalik Westfield, Asnayan Byron, Amin John, and Devon Walker.
And for Bequia, Josh Stowe in goal, he's captain. He carrying the captain's armband as well. We have John Miller, Ian Sargent, Dimitri Peniston, Mark Brown, Kamal Best, Carlos Simmons, Javier Friday, Devin Ford, Jovel Morgan, and Tristan Farrell.
So both teams in the middle, that's the Avenues United squad. Goalkeeper Shaquille Chandler in front there. And the rest of the team, it's a young squad,
yes,
Charlo, of course. The likes of Hector and Jack, they certainly have immense skills. And it's, for me, sometimes a little painful seeing these youngsters have to go through the number of defeats that their team has faced thus far for this season.
Definitely. And a whistle tonight carried by Elron Lewis. And he's assisted by Toshika Brown and Rohan Johnson, with Sheshford John being the fourth official.
So we're going to get this one underway fairly soon. And Bequia United, of course, a team with a lot of talent. As we know, they've produced quite a number
I think we see Mark Brown carrying the captain's armband, isn't it?
Well, yes, Mark Brown is coming to do the toss, so he's the captain for the night, and not Josh Stowe, as is the case on the team sheet. So that's one change. And there we see the officials, of course, in the middle. It's actually Cadell Hector, who is the captain of Avenues United, and not Shaquille Chandler. Sorry, and not Neil James, as indicated by our team sheet. So
Avenues with their familiar white with the red trimmings.
Yes, and it appears as if they're going to be defending the eastern goal. And the Bequia United, and they're predominantly
red with some yellow trims.
Right, exactly. They're going to be defending the western goal here tonight at the Brighton Technical Centre. Of course, under the lights, and the officials just going to ensure that the netting is in place with regards to the goals. And fairly soon we should be having this one on the go here tonight at the Brighton Technical Centre. And football action continues this weekend, of course, Friday into Sunday. There are more matches to come. We're coming down, we're on the home stretch, so to speak. But of course, System 3, they are at the top with an unassailable 8-point lead.
Well, they have played well.
So we're just awaiting the start of
I think they have one loss for the season so far.
Yes, they've lost one game, System 3. Avenues United at the bottom, yet to win a game. Could this be the one that they turn things around in terms of, getting some more points on the table? Just with 3 points, Charlo. Here's Mark Brown for Bequia, and it's immediately off the back of a Avenues United player, forced forward. And there's James. Oh, both teams just simply knocking it backward and forward. There's absolutely no coordination here. And I'm pretty sure that both coaches will not be pleased in the way in which things have started off here tonight. But there's goalkeeper Chandler coming off the line and taking that one for Avenues United, floating it upfield on the right side. Searching ball, looking there for Jack. And it goes out of touch. The young number 9 for Avenues United, Xavier Jack. Battle for possession now in the middle. It's picked up by a Bequia player, but whistle going. Infringement against the Bequia. And Avenues United, of course, with a free kick just about midway inside of their half. To be taken by Neil James. That number 8 on his back. James. Forward again, searching ball, looking there for Jack, but it's cut out by the defense. Fell in the path of Hector, but his first touch wasn't too well. And here's Bequia now coming in with it. Captain Mark Brown. And in the end, knocked out a touch there by Wiley. And it's a throw in to, well, for a moment I thought it was a Bequia throw in. Ball again off the boot of a Bequia player. And that's out of the center. We've lost quite a number of balls tonight.
The third ball that has gone into that direction.
For the night. So, throwing now to Avenues United. Well, it's given up. Wiley nonetheless regains possession and immediately it's turned over. And this is something that we've seen not just with these two teams, but quite a number of teams here in this Premiership. Inability to hold the ball, you know, for some decent time. Ball is with Chandler. And ball is upfield. Oh, not the best of clearance, but it fell in the end nicely there for Avenues United. And they're going to get a throw in now through John. Leaving it there now for Devon Walker. Walker finds John. He's closely marked. And bundled there to the ground was Wiley, the guilty player.
Carlos Simmons.
Certainly. So, free kick to be taken now by Westfield. Kalik Westfield. Thumping it forward. There is Kamal Best drilling it upfield. And James picks it up for the Avenues United team. Got up around one player, but lost it in the end. Here's Brown, but he's offside. Clearly offside. And whistle immediately going. It's going to be a free kick quite naturally to Avenues United. So we are just about under 4 minutes into this one. And both teams still pretty much trying to find their footing. Not yet settled in any manner I can say, as this one is thumped upfield there by James. And into the path of a Bequia United player. Robbed of it and done so unfairly there by Wiley, fouling him in the process. And a free kick to Bequia United. It's a little difficult at times to pick up the numbers on the back of the shirt, but I know for sure that's Kamal Best.
Yes, the Kamal Best, long legs of Kamal Best.
Yes, finds
John Miller.
Miller. Ball ricochets off player and picked up by Davis. Capriani Davis. Gets around one Davis. Nice ball. Well, it's cut out by the defense. He's looking there, searching for Jack. And Byron picks it up in the middle of the park there for Avenues United. Ball is knocked forward, searching one. But the defense is there first for Bequia. And in the end, the flag is up. I believe it's going to be the first corner kick of the game. Corner kick to be taken by Cadell Hector. Hector takes it and knocked away by the defense. Comes out to that big stocky burly player.
Jovel Morgan.
For Bequia United. And this one is now upfield. Onto the head of an Avenues United player. And in the end, Chandler certainly is going to pick that one up. Goalkeeper Chandler. We had about 4 or 5 games where Richard Haid had to stand between the uprights for Avenues United. And there was one particular game where he had 12 thumped past him. That was against System 3. So here's Devon Walker looking for John, but right and through their wasted pass. And a throw in now to Bequia United. Still 0-0 in this the 6th minute. Throw taken. And Hector was there, but defender did enough for Bequia to maintain that possession, and finally it's lost. Wiley. And there you see again the inability just to hold on to this ball, and in the end it was a Just a wild kick there from Hector, pretty much uncharacteristic of him. And the goal kick, of course, to Bequia United.
So Bequia still a 0-0 affair.
So ball is now back with Avenue United. Here's Davis into the path of Hector, and he battles with Hector into finds John, but John is offside, and much to the disappointment of, well, free kick was taken very quickly there, and in my humble opinion, very recklessly, as a matter of fact, thumped it into the back of his teammate, and it's out of touch, giving up a throw into Avenue United, where certainly should have been a situation where they ought to be building or thumping it upfield Bequia. In the end, infringement against Bequia. We see Davis is down, and
So too is a Sergeant.
well, Davis is back up. His team has won themselves a free kick, as yes, Ian Sargent is finally up, and no doubt Cadell Hector.
Seems to got the worst of it.
Yes, Hector will take that free kick for Avenues United. So, a player who's demonstrated that he has that ability to make some magic with the dead ball, Hector. One of the talents in this Avenues United team, and certainly one for the future, as he prepares now to take this free kick with a two-man wall in place. In this, the 8 minutes, just waiting for that whistle. And Hector, oh, it was just a little too much outside of that near post. He was probably looking for that top right-hand corner. Such was not the case. We certainly had that curl on it. No doubt, Charlo.
Yes, that was absent. I think as you talk about the talent and the ability, I think the number 9 in Xavier Jack, as well as the number 12 in Caprani Davis, I think there are 3 youngsters that really showed that they have something to offer.
Without a doubt. So, turn now to be taken by Avenues. Whistle going. I believe it's not in the right position. As a matter of fact, referee Lewis just going across to have a discussion with a player there from Bequia United. And in the meantime, pointing out exactly where the throw should be taken from. As a matter of fact,
Kamal Best was not happy with the decision.
It's actually a Bequia throw.
It's overturned.
Yes. So, throwing now to Bequia United. And there's Jack getting in front of the player for Bequia there. Ball is out of touch for yet another one. So, a game that is pretty much lacking that early construction, Charlo.
Well, it has become a customary thing when one looks at Avenues in their early stages, just seem to be kicking at random.
So, free kick now to be taken. Looks as if it's possibly Wiley. Let's have a look. Oh, that might well be Reynold Thomas, I beg your pardon. Floats it in, and wide, high. Not a problem there for goalkeeper Justo. So, yet another goal kick here for Bequia United. Ball knocked shot. Sargent down the left side. And nodded away there by Neil James, but could only find Farrell for Bequia United. Here's Mark Brown now with possession. Cross comes in, but there's Westfield. Ricochets into the path of, well, in the end, cleared. Comes back out to Bequia player nonetheless. And this one is forced out of touch off the boot of a red shirt. And there's another throw in, this time to Avenues United. Walker looking there for John. Sargent is closely there, but into the middle there to Byron. And picked up by the Bequia forward there, but in the end, ran away from him. It's going to certainly be a throw in here. Throw taken there to James, who has lots of space, lots of time. And in the end, let's see, he drills this one upfield, like straight onto the head of a Bequia player. This is the problem that I'm having, Charlo. There's absolutely no construction, no thought into what is taking place. But here's Davis picking one up now. And robbed of it in the end.
Kamal Bess.
Mark Brown for Bequia United, losing possession. I mean, John is there, was looking to get Davis going, but it's cut out and nonetheless back with Bequia. John had a bit of a chest there into the path of Davis, who does well. And Davis gets around 1-2, so he's off his line. And not a bad effort there from the youngster. He got past the defense there for Bequia United. And the final touch, I saw the attempt there to lob it over the advancing goalkeeper, but unfortunately for him it went wide.
Well, it was not to be.
So 0-0 still, corner kick to Avenues United, and Hector will take this free kick for Avenues. Cadell Hector, captain in the team tonight, wearing the captain's armband, and just ensuring that that ball is properly spotted. Meantime, referee just having a word with a few of the Bequia players. And they're backing this 18-yard box. Hector now takes it at the far post and off a Bequia United defender. And in the end, the attempt now to clear comes back out there to what looks like Wiley. And here's Westfield to pick it up for Avenues to Neil James and boot it into the Bequia bench. Off the boot of a Bequia player. And throwing it will be to Avenues United. Minute number 13. As there's a bit more of a chill in the air, Charlo. This one is forward, but it's going to be easy there for Josh Stowe. Shouldn't have any problems, as was demonstrated there. Volleys it up way upfield. Friday, I believe, is after it. That's Ford, as a matter of fact. Dennis Ford has Westfield with him. Comes back to Sargent. Cross comes in. As a matter of fact, there's a shot spilled. And, well, lucky there for goalkeeper Chandler. Comes back out. And in the end, he was able to mop things up. But initially, some poor work there by the goalkeeper.
Definitely some very poor work, and I think Avenues could count themselves lucky.
Very much so. Kamal Bess. This one off his head. And in the end, it's picked up by Byron for Avenues. Well, he gives it away to Sargent. Couldn't keep it in. As a matter of fact, off the boot of Byron. And Bequia United, of course, with a throw-in. Ball short there to Ford. But John gets there. Wins possession. Looking there for Jack. That's Hector, I beg your pardon. Hector onto the right side. Searching ball. Looking for Jack to run onto. Can he get there? That certainly will not be the case. And another throw-in. So both teams just seems to be a bit random here tonight. Whether they're heading forward or booting it forward. And there's certainly not that composure in this one, but this could be a bit of a problem. Ford, it's off his hand. And the whistle immediately going. It's going to be a free kick there for Bequia United. And there you see the anxiety once again being responsible for what just happened there to that Bequia player.
Not settled at all. And you rightly said it, the anxiety getting the better of the players.
So, free kick taken there by James. Off the head of a Bequia player. There's Byron, ever present in the midfield there for Avenues, but it's yet again turned over. And this one is going to find its way out of touch. A throw into Bequia United.
Well, quickly taken, looking for Mark Brown. Mark Brown lays it, look for Jovel Morgan, but it's cut out there by Westfield. And again, that lack of composure, the lack of construction. He looks for Xavier Jack on the far side. But he has Kamal Best to contend with it. Now he knocks it into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Avenues United. It's still a 0-0 affair here, and both teams looking for some much needed points. Avenues yet to win a game. Quickly taken. Jack goes back to defend. The shot comes in, and again we can see it's Amin John with a shot, lays it off, and it's, my word, Caprani Davis had it on a platter. Yes, Justo was beaten, the defense was beaten, and he kicked it wide.
Well, Charlie, I'm trying to fathom as to what would have resulted there, because it was an open goal. Stowe had already given up, and it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it sums up what goes on between both teams. But it's still Avenues. Westfield pumps it downfield, but it's cut out there by Bequia. Right, it's Wiley. Dances around, goes wide, looking for Cadel Hector. He's in an offside position. In fact, it's Xavier Jack. He's in an offside position, so it's going to be a free kick for Bequia. Kamal Best, the tall, lanky figure in defense for Bequia, and he has been a stalwart in defense for Bequia. So Best pumps it down. He's still off Morgan, but he comes right back to Farrell. Farrell knocks it in the path of Peniston. Peniston finds Carlos Simmons, who just boot that onto a Avenues player. Sargent now heads it forward, only to find Walker for Avenues, and that one comes right back to goalkeeper Justo, who lays it off. It's Farrell, Peniston, and still Cadel Hector. He goes down. Got a nip there. It's going to be a free kick awarded to Avenues. So Cadel Hector, the number 10, being given a hand by referee Elwan Lewis, so he's back on his feet. He spots it. He's going to take charge, looking to find the first goal of this encounter. Let's see. Chips it in, Justo right into the lap of Justo, who had that covered and clutched it comfortably, and he hammers it downfield. Mark Brown is there, but the offside flag is up, and it's going to be a free kick to Avenues United. Certainly both teams taking a very long time to settle here in this encounter.
Very much the case, Charlo, and it has certainly affected the standard of play that we've seen thus far, as play continues over there on the far side.
So Peniston dances around, and it's against Avenues, so free kick. Kamal Best pumps it downfield, looking for Mark Brown. Mark Brown being robbed of it by Wiley, and number 4 in Thomas, but it's Kamal Best who came all the way from defense, so knocked it into touch. So it's going to be a throw-in for Avenues. Quickly taken, finds Thomas. Thomas looks up, looking for some support, looking for Xavier Jack, who didn't rein that in, but he comes right back in defense to Kamal Best, who pumps it downfield. Now looking for Morgan, who gets a head up. This could be dangerous, but the long legs of Walker was there. As we can see, the number 21 in Ford was closing in, and Walker boots it into touch. It's going to be a corner for Bequia. Captain Mark Brown makes his way out. So it's still a 0-0 affair here. We're in the 21st minute. Mark Brown carrying the number 9 on the back of his shirt. Chips it across.
Wasted
loaded corner. This would go into touch. Couldn't be kept in play. And really, I think it helps to sum up what we have seen so far. The lack of quality.
Without a doubt. I don't know if it's a situation where, I mean, both teams languishing at the bottom of the table. Spirits are not very much high, and it's certainly been reflected here tonight.
So Amin John with a good ball on the left, looking for some support. He has Ian Sargent to contend with. And Sargent long leg. Sargent intercepts. Pumps it downfield. And it's still Bequia now looking to come forward. Goes down the right. Carlos Simmons with a nice ball. Finds Jovel Morgan. Morgan comes back to Mark Brown. Miss kick there by Walker. Mark Brown picks it up. Lays it off. Looking to get in there. But overran it there. And there is Westfield defending for all his worth for Avenues. But Avenues still in their own half. Simmons came back. Controls. He comes back to his defender in Best. Kamal Best looks up. Chips it downfield once again. Headed away there by Westfield. And it's really just a give and take. Just kicking. There's John Miller for Bequia. He goes wide. Looks for Mark Brown. Mark Brown looking to pull some support. The cross comes in. Chandler couldn't get there. It goes into touch. It's going to be a goal kick for Avenues, but there was Mark Brown looking too late off for Jovel Morgan to run onto, but certainly had too much on it.
Definitely too much on it there. Just ran away from Morgan as he tried to certainly get around there. Such was not the case, and quite naturally a goal kick to be taken now by James.
So James lining it up. Now he hammers it downfield. And Capriani Davis was doing a bit of pushing. So infringement call. It's going to be a free kick to Bequia. Kamal Best spots it. Just in front of us here. He looks up. Long ball. Headed back by James. It's Cadel Hector who goes wide. Finds Byron. Peniston. Mark Brown being hustled off it. Cadel Hector picks it up. Lays it off for Byron. Byron looking for Xavier Jack, who couldn't control. Goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in. Quickly taken by Bequia. John Miller. Lays it off. Comes right back to Miller. Miller now switches play. Looking for Jovel Morgan. Finds Ford. Ford has someone to run on to. Shot comes in and there's Mark Brown tapping it calm as ever. As easy as you can ask. Into the back of the net. And Bequia has opened their account.
Well, that was easy. Good cross coming in there from Ford, and easy, simple tapping as the goalkeeper was wrong-footed there by the captain of Bequia, Mark Brown. And that's the opening goal in this encounter, breaking the ice. And let's do hope going forward now that we see some better football being played, Charlo.
Certainly. Goal coming in the 24th minute from the boot of Captain Mark Brown, who had it on a platter. I think, if my memory serves me right, that should be about his 10th goal for the season. But Avenues will have work to do. Comes back to Cadel Hector, to Byron. And off the defender there. Davis lays it back. And it's Bequia. Couldn't keep it in touch. It looks like Simmons. And it goes into touch for a throw-in for Avenues. In fact, a infringement call in the middle, so a free kick being awarded. Kamal Best pumps it downfield. Morgan goes up, gets a head on it, comes back to Ford. Ford has a defender. He looks to push it to the right, but Walker will knock it into touch. It's going to be a throw-in close to the corner flag of Avenues. And now he's leaving it for Ian Sargent. Sargent now looking for that throw-in, but headed away there by Walker. John pumps it downfield. And Becker will control. Finds Carlos Simmons. Lays it off for Mark Brown. Mark Brown has two defenders. Comes right back. And this time there is Farrell losing his footing. but Peniston lays it back to Mark Brown. Mark Brown looks to get Peniston going. Peniston being hustled off it. Is still coming and off the defender. Though it's being cleared in defense by Avenues. Kamal Best chest it down. Controls for Bequia. Not yet coming out of Avenues half. Kamal Best still with it. He comes right back in defense now. Finds John Miller, who goes back to Josh Stowe. And Stowe sends it downfield to Farrell. And Simmons collects, but again giving up. Whoa, a serious boot. And Cadel Hector still with it. Lays it off for Caprani Davis to Xavier Jack. Back to Davis. Davis chips it across. Ian Sargent clears in defense. But Wiley picks it up for Avenues. And it's now cleared by Bequia in defense. Looking to come forward. And again, another boot. But I think Morgan was caught in an offside position. So it's going to be James. Sends it downfield to Xavier Jack. And the no-nonsense Kamal Best pumps it downfield. It goes into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Avenues United. It's Bequia 1, Avenues United 0. So Amin John being robbed. And Avenues picks up the loose ball. Sargent, nice ball. But there was Westfield making no bones about it, clears it. It's going to be a throw-in for Bequia United. Ian Sargent, not in any hurry. And we see referee Elwan Lewis having some word with Kamal Best. And a long ball finds Morgan. Morgan has two defenders. Control, but Walker couldn't keep it in touch. It goes into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Bequia United. Morgan now leaves it for Sargent. Sargent with a nice ball. He was looking for Ford, but intercepted there by Avenues United. Chip downfield once again. Walker knocks it into touch. It's going to be another throw-in for Bequia United inside Avenues half, about halfway inside Avenues half. And the pressure Bequia looking to mount some pressure on the defense here for Bequia. Morgan has about 3 or 4 red shot, but losing it. Only to find Peniston for Bequia, who goes wide. Lays it off for Mark Brown on the far side. Mark Brown has Jack to contend with. And he couldn't control. He goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in. And I think there's a player down. He got a bit of touch. I think there's a bit of collision. And some assistance now being given by the ref. The physio. Looks like Simmons. And he now makes his way to the sideline. So very soon, play will continue. So Carlos Simmons makes his way to the sideline.
Well, still getting some attention off the field of play. And play will now continue. Bequia now with possession. Ball floated into the middle, but it's going to be picked up there by Westfield. Looking there for Amin John. Yes, finds him. Turns very quickly. John goes around one, but a little too close to the defender there. And Kamal Best comes out to Sargent. So Bequia will now try the attack on the right side. Ball floated forward. I think was looking to get that more. And in the end, a foul there, but was looking to get more at the top of the 6-yard box there. And a foul there by Morgan. And both these teams have some footballing pedigree. You know, one recall the Burton Fords, the Marlon Tusty James coming out of Bequia. I recall specifically that game, I believe back in 2004, where home game for St. Vincent and the Grenadines World Cup qualifier against Mexico, where we lost narrowly 1-0. And the likes of Burton Ford and Marlon Tusty James out of Bequia were very much involved in that particular game. And those are the days where, you know, Beck was really sailing high with regards to football prowess. Not to say that they've lost it, because there's still, you know, quite a number of players around who have that skill. Ball floated forward by Amin John. There is Jack, it looks like, for Avenues United. Was looking for Cadell Hector. Thomas knocks it forward. It's going to nonetheless run into the path of the Bequia number 4. And they will now look to come forward. Still in possession. Finds Jovel Morgan. Comes back there nonetheless to Simmons. A searching ball in the left side, but it's going to run away. Avenues, in contrast, of course, they've produced quite a number of
certainly
footballers at the national level within recent times. Damel Francis, Richard Hayde, their coach. Of course, we go back to the days of Waldron and company, and certainly a team out of the Pauls Avenue area that has contributed immensely to football here in this country. Of course, they were former national champions, I believe about between 3 to 4 years ago. And last time they won as champions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they did not lose a single game.
Well, they have not won a single game.
So there's a complete turnaround for Avenues United, unfortunately. But I still do believe there's hope, because there's a lot of love for the game within that region. Here's Jack on the right side, and unfortunately goes out of touch. And Bequia United will now have a throw-in. Scoreline still remains 1-0 in favor of Bequia. Goal coming in the 24th minute from the boot of Mark Brown. Good assist from Devin Ford on the right side with a nice, wonderful cross that served it on a platter for his captain, who certainly had absolutely no problem in just slotting it past the goalkeeper. Bequia. Well, there's a battle on the far side there between Thomas and Peniston. And in the end, Byron is going to knock it back to his goalkeeper in Chandler, who has not been having the best of nights. Chandler muffed a couple shots that came in. Quite lucky to certainly have kept the scoreline to 1-0. Thomas now up the right flank, gets the return ball and floats it further forward, looking there for Caprani Davis. Davis with Stowe coming off the line and was unaware exactly as to where that fell. In the end, cleared by the Bequia defense. There is Westfield now clearing it there to Byron. And Byron knocks it into the path of Jack, but getting there first, it looks like Camel Best into the middle there now, finds his captain and knocking it forward, looking for Ford, but he's offside. Flag was quickly up. Quick whistle went, and another free kick there to Avenues United. So, among all the fact that this has not been the best constructed game, Bequia certainly with that 1-0 lead, and you can see it on the field, they've thus far been the better of the two sides.
Definitely.
James now searching ball upfield. Davis is there, but he's closely marked, and Sargent winning possession, fouled in the process there, and that was a beautiful save there from Stowe following the whistle that had already gone. Infringement by Davis on Sargent, and a free kick certainly to Bequia United. So we get this one going yet again in the 36th minute. Ball forced down the middle onto the head of Westfield. There is what looks like, is that Wiley who was fouled? Holding his left ankle. And,
yes, it was Wiley.
It is Wiley. being helped up by referee Ezron Lewis. And all's well there with Wiley as we see him walking away. James, who's been taking a fair amount of the dead ball situations here tonight, prepares to take this free kick as Avenue United search for a possible equalizer in this, the 36th minute going into 37th. Stows off his lines and punches one that he, in my opinion, should have collected. Comes back out there to James, but his first touch was not the best, and here comes Ford sprinting down the right side, but Chandler was off his line and doing some good work, finding Westfield. Well, luckily there for Wiley. Regained possession into the path of John. There's an appeal for offside, and yes.
It is.
So you saw the goalkeeper, you saw Kamal Bess, saw Peniston with their hands in the air appealing, and the assistant referee on the far side, the flag was quickly up, and referee Lewis obliged, blowing the whistle, wanted that free kick. Thumped upfield now, finds Morgan, but he taps it back there to Wiley, who's bundled to the ground. Play continues down the left. Gadel Hector to his left, finds Thomas, and Wiley remains on the turf, but Thomas continues with the play for Avenues United. Finds Jack now, and Jack with a couple defenders around him. This one, unfortunately, is out of touch. Turned over to Bequia United with a throw-in that they take very, very quickly. Ball upfield now, and Thomas was there, towering above the taller Peniston. Got there first and knocking it out of touch. Kamal Best now floats this one upfield off the head of James. And, you know, too many times we're not, but here comes Mark Brown, gets past one. This could be number 2. It is goal number 2. The second one tonight for Bequia. Second one tonight for the captain as we had to look once again. Best going past the defender, takes one, takes two, and slotted it now past goalkeeper Chandler. Bequia 2, Avenue United 0.
So calm work there by...
Go with possession in the middle of the park. Well, Wiley gets there first, as a matter of fact, and finds Thomas, gets the return ball, and fouled in the process. Fouled there by
Peniston.
Dimitri Peniston. Quickly taken free kick, Damian John. And that sums up the play here tonight. There's just a rush by both teams as Thomas trying to get that one to John off the boot there of Devin Ford. And a throw into Avenues United. Devin Ford, don't know if he's any relation to Burton Ford, as this one is knocked in, top of the 18-yard box, but the defense is there for Bequia. Ball comes back out now with the captain, Mark Brown. Has to pull back and plays a nice searching ball on the right side there now for Devin Ford. Has Thomas with him. Can he keep it in? No, he couldn't. But wasn't a bad attempt.
It was something constructive on the part of Mark Brown, looking for get the youngster going, who was unable to keep it in touch.
Throw taken there now by Avenues United. It's with Wiley. Looks for and finds Byron. Searching ball there by Byron, but the big towering figure of Sargent was in his way and booted it out of touch. Byron, one of those other players from this Avenues United outfit that certainly have some talent. And I'd really and truly like to see these young players, you know, being given the guidance. I don't know exactly what happens outside of the outside game day in terms of training and things of the like. And based on what we've seen, a lot of questions to be certainly answered. Here's John. Going back to Thomas, who's looking to give him the return ball, cut out by Sargent. And John just getting the boot in, asking for, for the throw, which was certainly not there. Waldron to Sargent, and in the end it's knocked away. It's actually Morgan, not Waldron. Waldron more associated with Avenues.
With Avenues. He's still in the Avenues realm.
Sargent to take the throw in, and fouled in the process there by Thomas was Ford, Devin Ford.
So it's going to be a free kick.
Certainly. Free kick to be taken by Sargent. Bequia 2, Avenues United 0.
Well, you see the reluctance of even the Bequia players to get up into the attacking area.
Yes. Let's see what they can do with this. Free kick comes in and punched and missed off the crossbar and still not collected there by the goalkeeper. As the shot comes in now and it goes, I believe, off the boot of a Avenues United player out of touch. But there you see a comedy of errors by the goalkeeper.
Definitely. And Avenues will be still very lucky amidst that comedy of errors.
So going across to take this corner kick is Simmons, Carlos Simmons. And in this, the 45th minute, Bequia will probably, not probably, looking at the possibility of a third goal here tonight. As, oh, that's a wasted corner kick. Should have done better there. And in the end, it's back with Bequia. As ball is now knocked out of touch. So here's, oh, that's Walker.
1 minute of added time?
1 minute at a time, yes. Whistle going there, and I believe it's in favor of Avenues United. They have a free kick on the far side to be taken by James. Finds Byron. 9 on Byron with a floated ball forward, looking there for John, but the big towering figure of Sargent is there, and you know, boots it upfield. There is Wiley doing some good work in the end, getting around Peniston, puts it in the path of Byron, finds Cadell Hector, who's been out of the game for some time, but back with Wiley. And here's now Walker knocking it into the path of Byron, and in the end, robbed of it. Ball is floated upfield once again here by Bequia. Peniston searching one, but James, I believe, will get there first with a header, and back into the path of James, just shielding it and ensuring that Avenues gets possession. But that's the whistle to indicate that it's the first 45 minutes here tonight. A 2-0 lead for Bequia United, but a game certainly that, in my humble opinion, needed more construction, Charlie.
Well, I'm in total agreement. It certainly lacked the construction, and there's no build-up. But in the end, Bequia still compliments 2 goals from their captain, Mark Brown, having a 2-0 lead in the very first half.
So we have 45 more minutes to go. Each team will break, and when they are ready for us, we certainly will come back here on VC3. scrappy one, and let's do hope that that sit down at halftime certainly would have instilled some inspiration to both of the teams here tonight to certainly go forward and correct the mistakes that they made in the first half.
Well, they're back on. Bequia United already out, raring to go, and rightly so, because they have that 2-goal advantage, and we can see Avenues just about lazing about. Seems as if there are going to be some substitution on the far side. I can see Damal Francis and a few others getting themselves ready, and had just a light little drizzle a while ago.
Well, a little rain a while ago, and certainly wet in the outfield here, so it might be very well a little slippery in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and that's something that the players will have to take note of as they continue with this game here tonight. We're still awaiting to see what is happening on the far side with regards to substitutions. As we said, there's Damal Francis and another player who's warming up there for Avenues United. Haven't seen any movement with regards to Bequia. Referee in Elroy Lewis is having a look there at the far side, and now we see number 12.
Yes, and number 12 is Capriani Davis.
Yes, he's certainly had a couple of opportunities that went to Began.
And Jamal Laborde
comes in. I think that's a change that is always on the card. Damal Francis is in, and for Avenues United didn't get the number of the player who's out. There's also a substitution for Bequia, it looks like.
I think the number 32 is off.
And the number 19 is in, as in McQueen Snag. So
here we go. And it's inside the Avenues half. That's Thomas. Boots it downfield. McQueen Snag comes in, but it's still with Wiley. Wiley losing it there to Simmons. Simmons still with it in the end, losing it back to Wiley. Chips it into the path of Damal Francis. McQueen Snag goes down. That was pumped into his body. And I think that one went right into the midsection, into that sensitive area.
Certainly.
He's down in some agony. And Damal Francis showing good sportsmanship, just doing some pumping of the legs.
Well, that's very good on his part, as the physio finally gets in there for Bequia. And the experienced Damal Francis, former national player.
Yes, he's been now helped to his feet, but he's grimacing, still holding into that area. And certainly I know what the experience is like, having been struck there on a couple of occasions playing cricket.
With a cricket ball.
And with a cricket ball.
Trust me, that's not a good experience at all. I prefer being hit there by a football.
Well, it's not an easy encounter. But McQueen Snag, he's still bending over. So it's going to be a bounce ball. And we see Kamal Bess.
Looks as if Thomas is out for is this Thomas? No, Thomas is still here.
Gives it to Xavier Friday. It's pumped downfield, I think. And Jovel Morgan losing it. Westfield now comes in and looking for Jack, but two players down. I think one Avenues, the other Bequia United.
Yes.
So they're signaling for some stretcher, and also the physio.
Well, the stretcher, they're onto the field, not yet in the camera. Yes, finally in view, and one of the players there for Bequia United. He's seated now, but seems to be in some pain. They're going across to where the Avenues United player is. He seems to be in a bit more pain than is the case with the Bequia United player.
Is Wiley now getting back to his feet?
Yes, he's up.
So too the Bequia player.
He's limping away. That's
John Miller.
John Miller. time the drizzle restarts here at the Brighton Technical Center.
So, referee Elron Lewis will get things going once again very shortly.
Still trying to decipher the player who's out for Avenues United. Laborde and Francis is in. We know that Caprani Davis is out, but as to who the other player is.
Get to that in if you look at Nyron Byron.
Byron is still there.
Byron is still there.
Yes. Choice taken.
So, of course, into touch is a throw in for Bequia. Long ball, headed downfield. Finds John Miller, who is back on the field. And again, we can see no level of construction. But Damal Francis picks it up, lays it off for Thomas. Thomas has one to contend with in McQueen snag. As if there's a wrestling match. Whistle going.
Exactly, Devon Walker was out for Avenues United also.
Yes, the number 91. So it's going to be a free kick for Avenues. So James looks up. This one is hammered downfield. Kamal Bess knocks it upfield, looking for Mark Brown. Mark Brown
holds his head. He got a touch.
Well, certainly would
clash of head
well,
and mouth there. As
yes, Thomas, and you can see Mark Brown holding the back of his head.
Yes.
Just feeling to see if there's any blood.
And that's what happened. I've had such an experience in a football game, Charlo. Took some 7 stitches.
You did?
Yeah.
Ah.
Played the entire game and didn't realize until, well, was aware of the fact until the game was over. And that's where the pain certainly set in, right after the game.
Right after the game. The adrenaline's no longer flowing.
Exactly.
So drop ball. James for Avenues controls, gives it to Damal Francis. Francis comes back to James. McQueen's snag is there, and James goes right back to Chandler, his goalkeeper. Chandler, he now pumps it downfield, looking for some support, cut out there by Friday. And Carlos Simmons knocks it in. It's still with Bequia. Down goes the player. I think there's a little bit of slippery surface with a bit of rain.
Well, I didn't mention it. And, you know, with the point that I hope that the players adapt quickly to the fact that the surface is going to be fairly more slippery than it was in the first half.
Yes, so we have already seen evidence of that. There's a free kick awarded to Bequia United. Kamal Best comes up to take the job. Long legs. You can see a 4-man wall there for Avenues. Let's see what Kamal Best would do. There goes the whistle. He steps up. And a shot that goes high over the uprights. It's a goal kick for Avenues. The score remains Bequia United 2, Avenues 0. So Chandler leaves it for James. James lays it off to Thomas. Thomas still with it. Pumps it downfield. It goes into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Bequia United. So Javier Friday has to jog behind that. Went past the corner flag. So that would take up a few seconds. And he's now running back into position. So it's going to be a throw-in for Bequia. So Friday, long throw, looks to find Peniston. Peniston comes back to Friday. Friday goes back in defense. Allows it for Josh Stowe, who pumps it downfield. Not the best of clearance that we have accustomed to see from Justo, but Westfield picks up for Avenues, but intercepted by Bequia, and is now back to Avenues. Avenues still with it, and John Miller cuts it out. There is Jovel Morgan, but the outside flag is up. And very good work by the assistant referee Toshika Brown, because we had Morgan just in line with us.
Yes.
And he was just ahead of the Avenues player.
Morgan quite a bulky and stocky player, but he's putting in the effort nonetheless.
Yes. Goes down, finds Amin John. John lays it off to Jack. Jack loses it as Bequia United. Kamal Best was looking to pump it downfield. Byron heads it back. It's Avenues with it. It looks like Jack comes right back to Cadel Hector with a shot. Going across the face of the goal.
Should have done better there.
And
Hector had the
it's gonna
goal
be
at
a
his
goal
mercy.
kick. Again, anxiety perhaps getting the better of him. So, Justo. Gives it to John Miller. Miller now sends it long ball downfield, looking for Simmons off the back of Simmons. Comes back to James. James who goes right back to his goalkeeper Chandler. And Chandler being hustled off it, boots it downfield, finds Wiley. Wiley dances around 1, 2, gives it to Damal Francis. Francis looking to get Jack going on that far side. Still with Jack. And with a shot comes in the middle, but cut out there by the defense in the 4. Bequia United comes back to Westfield. Westfield lobs it to the player, Damal Francis, with it on that far side, but dispossessed, and it's McQueen Snag, but he's also been dispossessed. Chips it downfield, looking to get Amin John going. John has a Friday with it. He still has Friday. He's not allowed to come forward. Now he lays it back for Thomas. Thomas comes across field, but cut out there by John Miller to find McQueen Snag. And this one goes into touch. It was Carlos Simmons, and
It's actually a free kick.
so a free kick awarded here to Avenues. Some pushing and being bundled off it. So Neil James will take that free kick. Long swirling ball. Headed back upfield by Bequia. Morgan controls, but it's intercepted there by Avenues, but again cut out by Bequia, and he goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Avenues. Number 4, Renald Thomas, looking to find Amin John, who is not given any room. McQueen Snag is there. Snag worms his way through 2. Comes across middle, lays it for Mark Brown, back to McQueen Snag. This could be dangerous, and McQueen Snag misses. Goalkeeper was beaten, and he was looking for the near post, and that went wide. And he's asking, I'm not too sure what he's asking for.
Well, it was unfortunate in the part of Snag. He had to rid himself of the defenders, and once he got past them, of course, goalkeeper Chandler was already off his line, so he had to take the shot, but unfortunately it went wide there.
So it's still Bequia United 2, Avenues United 0. So one sends a long ball downfield. Heads go up off Byron. But again, Bequia, header, looking for the number 21 in Ford on that side, but it's Avenues looking to come away with it now. But Kamal Best is there. Has Cadel Hector. He dances around it, and he pumps this one downfield. Heads go up. Avenues controls. But good work up there by Bequia. Mark Brown, but he's in an offside position. Mark Brown was moving a little too quickly there.
Just a little too quick.
Just ahead of the defender. And Toshika Brown had her flag up. Chandler Sends it downfield. Kamal Bess knocks it upfield, but only to find Damal Francis for Avenues. Now to Wiley, back to Francis. Francis being hustled off it. And the infringement called. And it's going to be against Bequia. So it's going to be a free kick for Avenues. And Damal Francis already positioning himself for that free kick. He's the experienced campaigner, the calm head. Chips it downfield. Let's see. Xavier Jack on that side. This one goes into touch. And it's going to be a throw-in for Avenues. So Cadel Hector. In fact, a free kick being awarded. So Cadel Hector would now take that free kick. So you can see a couple of Avenues players coming back in the 18-yard box. Headed away there by the defense for Bequia. Only to find Westfield for Avenues. Off the head of Byron. Goes tamely back to Justo. Stowe just toying with it. Now he lays it off. Finds Peniston. Peniston goes wide. It's still Avenues. McQueen snag. But losing it as Damal Francis intercepts. Gives it to Byron. Puts it downfield. But Justo has no difficulty collecting. And now he sends it downfield to see if he can get Mark Brown off and running. Mark Brown loses his footing, goes down. Referee says to play on. He's still chested down there by the number 8 in Peniston. Comes right back to Avenues. And still Wiley holding on. Finds Thomas. Comes back to Byron. Chips it downfield. Justo will pick that up easily. And Bequia continue to hold on to their 2-0 lead.
So Stowe with possession here for Bequia. And just toying a bit there with Hector. Knocks it out to Peniston. Goes upfield looking for his captain, Mark Brown, but he's closely marked. And Jack picks it up in the midfield there for Avenues United. But they've lost possession once again. Comes back to looks like snag, but it's into the path of Amain John. And has the defender there with him. Knocks it in the middle. Good return ball there from, well, good return from Damal Francis. But John was just a little too quick coming down the line there. Ruled to be offside. And it's going to be a free kick to Bequia. But there again, you see that creativity slipping into it with the presence of Damal Francis.
Definitely. The experience and the quality of Francis really coming to the fore.
There is Wiley picking it up now for Avenues United. Has Thomas to his right. Goes down the flank there to John. But he loses possession. Here is Morgan with it for Bequia. And playing over the top of the 18-yard box. But it's cut out there.
He was given away, really.
Yes, definitely. Down the left flank now. Here is Cadell. That's Jack. And a youngster with a lot of skill there to Hector, and he lost his footing. And there you see the wet out field. Not in favor of the Avenues advancing player there. Nonetheless, it's with snag. Whistle going there, and I believe it's going to be against Avenues United. As a matter of fact, there's a player down for Bequia. I believe that is possibly. Is that Friday down there?
I think it's Friday.
Yes. Looks as if it's Javier Friday who's down there. And being helped up by referee Lewis. Has asked him to go to the touchline. The physio is also in. We'll escort him to the touchline and give him some assistance. So we'll have a restart, more than likely a bounce ball in favor of Bequia United quite naturally. And referee passes it on there to McQueen Snag. We're still going, and I believe John was just a little too presumptuous there. He certainly ought to have given him some time because it's a bounce ball where it belonged to Bequia, and referee Lewis just ensuring, that Bequia get the possession that is so much theirs. Bess skips past 2. Now finds Snag. Back to Kamal Bess. And giving it up there is Bess. I was looking there for Friday and got a little tap there from Thomas. I saw it. Got a little tap, unfortunately, in his eye as the moment he came back in. No, it wasn't any malintent on the part of Thomas. He was attempting to get to the ball, and the flailing hand, so to speak, struck Friday in the eye as he immediately came back on the field. Unfortunately on his part. So he has to get back off and maybe get a little water, liquid in that eye of his. And here we see a bounce ball yet again for Bequia. And referee John just, sorry, Lewis, sorry, just having a word there with John, saying please, just allow him. And ball now back out there to player who knocks it into the middle, finds what looks like John Miller. Miller going down the right side. Cross comes in. There's Mark Brown, and it was missed by Brown. And the goalkeeper Chandler picking it up, floats it upfield now for Avenues United, and just simply giving it away. Again, just like, here you go, guys. Take control of it, and they have done so. Sargent down the right side, and it looks as if it's, who's that on the far side?
Devon Ford.
Ford it is, yes. But the burly player in Morgan trying to get possession. Back with Peniston now to Snag. Whistle going there. And let's see. Referee's asking for the ball to be thrown on the far side. I believe it is going to be in favor of Avenues United.
Yes, it is.
Free kick being awarded, it looks like, or is it a throw-in?
It's a throw-in.
So, the board with the ball, and well, referee Lewis saying, no, it's not your ball, it actually belongs to
Bequia United.
Yes. So, they have a 2-goal lead. Bequia in this the 66th minute. Goals in the first half, first in the 6th minute, and first in the 6th minute, and then in the 38th. A brace by their captain, Mark Brown. Ball out to touch once again, and it's going to be Devon Ford to take the throw in. Cross comes in, but there's only James there present. The lone figure of Snag was in the, Simmons, was in the penalty area, but ball certainly didn't come his way.
It's a corner.
It's a corner kick, certainly. So it looks as if it's. Is that Miller who's going to cross there?
Looks like McQueen Snag going to take the corner.
So, Snag it is indeed. Floats it in and knocked away. Not the best of corner kicks there by Snag. Nonetheless regains possession and loses out to Damal Francis, who finds Hector. Looking there for Jack, but he's fouled in the process. And free kick to Avenues United. Francis was trying to get things going quickly, but such was not the case. Has possession now. And the flag is up. I believe that one certainly went out. And a throw in to Bequia United. Peniston gets the throw in. Volleys it into the path. Was looking there for Mark Brown, but pretty much overweighted there. And Captain Brown acknowledging the intent, but
I think he was checking to see if he was in an offside position as well.
Mark Brown.
He halted his movement.
So, well said. Yes, that's correct. As Chandler takes the kick up field now, onto the head of Peniston, falls there for what looks like Snag. Floated forward for Devon Ford. He gets into the 18-yard box, plays down. Ford still with it, and into the goalkeeper. Forced back out is Ford. And now there's Morgan. Shot is taken into the back of the nets. And goalkeeper Chandler, I don't understand.
Made a mess of it.
Absolute mess. Here's Ford as he works his way past the defenders and unbelievably beaten at his near post. Goal number 3 for Bequia United in this the 68th minute. Goal off the boots of Devon Ford. And Avenues United, of course, sink further into the mire, Charlo.
Well, they are really holding on to their position at the bottom of the table.
And yet to win a game in the Premiership. I believe this is their 14th game. And yet to win a game. There are 4 more games remaining, or 5 more games remaining for Avenues United. And certainly staring on the barrel of getting into the into tier 2. Here's Morgan now with possession. Knocks it in, but good work by Wiley getting back there, but couldn't hang on to it. Back to Morgan. And Crosswell is an attempted shot. And off target there. Ball goes out of touch, and the goal kick will result there for Avenues United. So Chandler, who has not had the best of nights here tonight, and this one he's just giving it away to the Bequia player. Couldn't hang on to it, and here comes Jack to Wiley, and the whistle going there. Referee calling an infringement against Bequia United, and a free kick to the men in white with that streak of red on their side. That's Avenues United, as the rain once again starts to fall here at this Brighton Technical Centre. And we certainly welcome the rain we've had over the last 4 or 5 days, Charlo. As this one is pumped upfield. Now cut out by the Bequia defense. And the player trying for all his worth to keep it in. And that was Friday. Xavier Friday. But there's a turn to Avenues United to taken by Thomas. Looking there for Main John. But could only find Peniston. And turns, finds Friday. Player going down in Amin John, and I believe this might very well be a card for Peniston.
It is.
It is a card for Peniston. So yellow card to Peniston. This is the 71st minute. As the wind has certainly picked up once again. As if that's a big gust coming off of the Atlantic there, Charlo.
Well, certainly very gusty indeed.
Yes. So free kick to be taken by Cadell Hector. And let's see what the youngster can make of this. His team is down 3-0. And with another 19 minutes plus extra time remaining. Let's see what he can make of this one. And in the end, missed almost by everyone, knocked out of touch, and not the best.
Thomas should have done better.
Yeah, but it was, again, not the best of free kicks, floated across the face of the goal, and the efforts by the Avenues player there was, left wanting. So, in the end, you can sum it up as not so good football.
Definitely, and they're still trailing 3-0.
3-0. So it's a goal kick to Bequia United. Josh Stowe, the custodian, finds Kamal Bess. Comes out now to Friday. Forced back there to Bess. Bess boots it into the middle. Picked up there by Namal Francis. Finds Wiley, who turns very quickly, takes a shot. And in the end, it's just over the crossbar. But it seemed to have stayed in the air forever there off the boot of Wiley.
And lingered. There's a lingering in the air.
So, not much power onto that one. And Josh still just looked at it as it went over the crossbar. Sargent on the right side. Ball knocked out of touch. And Bequia with another opportunity with a throw-in. Taken by Sargent. Whistle going. Referee asking for the throw to be taken from the correct position. Sargent gets the return ball now. Long searching one. There is Morgan, but he's closely marked by James. And Mark Brown comes in now, picks it up, and well, he saw the keeper off his line. He attempted to lob it over the advancing keeper, but unfortunately, I think sort of slid off his shoe, so to speak,
Yes.
and went out of touch.
But had an opportunity to have for a hat trick.
Yes, possible hat trick. Flag is up, whistle going, and I believe it's for the free kick to be retaken, or should I say the goal kick. Goalkeeper Chandler just spotting it yet again, and let's see what he does with this one. Beckons this player's upfield, was looking there for Thomas, and he picks it up now, has Mark Brown with him, lobs it forward, but Stowe is going to come off his line, and collects nicely there, bolts it out to Kamal Bess, gets around one Bess, moves forward, goes to his right, and looks like snagged in the middle, and just knocking it back there to Sargent. Takes a long one upfield, searching ball, but can only find Chandler, who's off his line. He was looking for Morgan to run onto that one. And gotta give some props to Morgan. He's quite a stocky player he is, but
he has moved well.
Yes, certainly. Here is, well, possible opportunity, but it's knocked away by Kamal Bess onto the chest of Simmons. Now into the path of Mark Brown, who floats it forward, but this should be easy for the goalkeeper. He does well. And there's Mark Brown apologizing to his teammates, saying, guys, I should have done better.
Acknowledging that he should have done better.
And Avenues now with possession. It's Jack. Has two players with him. Into the part of Damal Francis. Gets the return ball, Jack. And ball down the left side now. It looks like Laborde, who's making a run there on the left side. An overlapping run from the Laborde. And in the end, the whistle going, fouling what looks like Kamal Best in the process. And it's going to be a free kick to Bequia United, who has a 3-0 lead. And we now see a substitution taking place on the far side. For Bequia, Thomas comes out.
For Avenues.
For Avenues, sorry. And Jeshon Joseph comes in. Also coming out is Amin John. So John is out. And coming in is it Miller? Raymond Miller?
Number 17.
Number 17 comes in. So a double change there for Avenues United. Thomas and John substituted, Miller and Joseph coming in. So we now pick it up, of course, with this kick taken there by Bequia.
So it's Wiley knocks it in the part of Byron. Byron to Jack. He goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Avenues. Avenues lays it off for Wiley. Wiley chips it across, finds Byron. Nice chip, but cut out there by the defense for Bequia. Kamal Best loses it again into the path of, and there's some bungling number of persons in that area, but now Bequia looking to come away with it. And Ford looking to get things going, stretching Chandler. It goes into touch. It's going to be a goal kick, but really was a good run on the right by Bequia, Devon Ford, and the cross a little too much on it. This one pumped downfield off the head of Friday. Ian Sargent cleans it up, comes right back up. Peniston is there. Knocks it into the path of McQueen Snag, looking to get Mark Brown going. The race is off between James and Mark Brown. Mark Brown wins it, comes around, floats it across. And Morgan didn't get a good boot on it, didn't control. And in the end, it's still inside Avenue's half. Simmons. It comes back to Simmons. There is Sargent on the part. Knocked it onto Jack. And it chips it across. Just down there by
Peniston.
By Peniston with a shot. And that went totally wide. Sliding off the outer part of his boot. I think the little wet conditions and not allowing him to have the sort of control that he wanted is going to be a goal kick for Avenues United.
Well, that attempt a while ago by Morgan, if it's one time his size worked against him, was certainly that an opportunity.
Yeah, he should have really done better.
He was just a little too slow in turning around and was robbed of the ball in the end.
So it's Bequia United 3, Avenues United 0. That's one sent downfield. It goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Bequia. And Ian Sargent, the number 5, is on that far side. Comes back to John Miller. Miller goes down looking for some support, but cut out by Avenues, and then it was given away. Westfield there getting ahead onto it. McQueen snag controls, but loses it. Damal Francis is there, and he comes right back to his goalkeeper, who knocks it out on his left to Damal Francis. Francis looking up, looking for some support, chips it downfield, but cut out there by Bequia. And down goes Wiley. He has really been in the wars. And a free kick awarded. Goes downfield, looking for some support, but it's cut out. Kamal Best with it for Bequia. Looking to find Mark Brown, the captain. Mark Brown couldn't get his boot on it, and it goes into touch. It's going to be a throw-in for Avenues. And I think there's a bit of urgency on the part of Avenues here. Young ball looking for his number 17 in Raymond Miller. Goes into touch. It's going, in fact, been infringed. So it's going to be a free kick, and Byron just in front of us, signaling his players to go forward. Now he pumps that downfield, looking for some support. And it's Jack on that far side. He spins, crosses it, headed away there by the defense for Bequia. And Bequia now will come away with it. It's Bequia on the move, comes to his right, finds Mark Brown. Mark Brown chips it downfield, looking for Friday. Friday, I think, holding on a little too long and still in a tussle. Chips it across, finds Carlos Simmons. Simmons gets around one, but Wiley cleans it up for Avenues. And still in Avenues half. McQueen snag has Wiley to contend with. Simmons gets around one, and again being robbed. Down goes Westfield. And so too.
Looks like snag.
Yeah, it looks like Simmons. And it's going to be a free kick just outside the 18-yard box.
Yep. Almost center.
That's
the top of
Carlos
the 18.
Simmons. Yes. So Mark Brown is standing there. Referee Lewis just about indicating where that wall should be placed.
And of course, it seems as if there's an electrical outage within the area. This looks like the entire area, Charlo.
Yes, it is.
We're still on based on the fact that we're using a generator, so we're still very much live. But we've lost electricity here at the facility, the Brighton Technical Center. And looking around, there's definitely an outage.
Yes,
in the area.
The entire community.
Yes.
Without lights.
Yes, and the referee there's a whistle quite naturally from the referee. I don't know if he's trying to call the teams together just to probably have a discussion on whatever the case might be, but it's a situation where there's absolutely no light here at the Brighton Technical Facility, and I don't know if it's a situation where we might just very well have a premature end of this game.
Well, I think it depends on the length of time, and it really indications are we may have that premature end to the game.
Meantime, of course, Bequia, they have a 3-0 lead, and both teams can't pick it up on our cameras, but from our vantage point here, we've seen that both teams have gone back to the bench area where there are one or two cell phone lights being used, Charlo.
Well, it's best that is affordable at this moment.
So there's absolutely nothing that the organizers can do here at the Brighton Technical Facility. There's absolutely no power in the area within this locale, and such being the case, now we're seeing actually the assistant referee using his or her board
to, to light the area.
illuminate the area.
Definitely.
So we're just looking on in the distance. There's a movement now away from the bench, it looks like.
Yes, it appears that there's some movement away from the bench.
Yes.
And heading to the facility.
So it might very well be a situation where there's a premature end, but we certainly will not speculate too much until we get that official word from the organizers here. There's 81 minutes, almost 82 minutes gone officially in the game, and the teams are now leaving the dugout, as one will say, or the benches.
And certainly we have a bit of moonlight.
Well, it's not enough.
But it has not really taken the sort of effect that we would like.
So, that being the case, I think we'll have to wrap this one up. Quite naturally, we'll have to give our technical team the opportunity certainly to secure the equipment and get back safely, certainly to master control. So we say thanks to all. Unfortunate situation where we've lost electricity here at the Brighton Technical Centre. And at the time of the outage, Bequia United versus Avenues, Bequia leading by 3-0. Of course, goals coming off the boots. There's a brace from the captain, Mark Brown, who scored in the 24th and the 38th minute. And then
in the 68th minute from Devon Ford.
So we say thanks to persons who have been following this online on our various platforms. But unfortunately, this is where we got to wrap it up. Have yourself a most enjoyable evening.